how do you get UGC for cheap? How do you pay the least amount of money as possible as an e-commerce brand owner to get your hands on UGC? And how can you as a UGC creator get the best deal as possible with these brands? As after working with over 30 creators on a weekly basis, I've learned a thing or two about how to deal with them and make sure that, again, as a brand, you get the best deal as possible, but also creates a long-lasting relationship with this creator. So get into a win-win partnership. My name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. First thing first, you want to make sure that you've set up your creator acquisition funnel properly. I've shared a video on that recently, but you want to make sure that you have a way to get creators inbound that come to you, that want to apply and work with you. So that's the first thing, because it gives you the edge, it gives you the advantage, because you're not relying on one or two creators to pump out all of your content. You have 50, 100 creators that are available to shoot content for you. So that's the first thing. Quantity is very important when building your creator pool. Second thing is you want to make sure that you do creator testing first. So when you actually start running ads, the main thing that you want to do from the start when you do UGC is that you test a lot of creators. You work with as many creators as your budget will allow. So for that, I would say from the start, you probably want to set aside about $100, $150 per UGC piece that you'll ask all of these creators to shoot for you. So keep in mind, you'll also have to kind of factor in on your end the cost of goods that this will incur, because you'll have to give free products and pay shipping to these creators on top of paying them for the content. But with that said, the goal is to test creators. So that's one of the very big variables when running UGC ads or just UGC organically, is who's going to resonate the best with your audience. Some creators won't, some will resonate extremely well. So you have to figure out who are the best. Now, after you've tested a solid 20 to 30 creators, you probably will find 2 to 3 that really suit your brand well. So this is where it gets interesting for both you and the creators. So when you first approach the creators, you always want to talk them through a long-term possibility of partnership. And that's basically approach UGC creator partnerships the same way you would approach hiring a new team member, right? You need to think about career development, and you need to show a vision of the future for that employee. Because if they come in and you just talk about their current role and what they would be doing as soon as they come in, and they don't really see, and after that, they don't really see a next step, they won't really be engaged with your business. Whereas if you kind of show them a plan and show them the way as to how can they progress, what can they actively work on, it will help their career development. Same thing with UGC creators. As soon as you reach out to them, you should already plant the seed in their mind that, hey, if this project works well, then we have X, Y, or Z in plans for you, right? We have a plan to put you on a retainer. We have a plan to send you periodic free products. We have a plan to get content batches from you, so buy packages from you. Whatever you might have planned for these creators, tell them already from the start, hey, if this works well, this is what we want to do moving forward. Because again, already by doing that, you'll both benefit. You as a brand will probably get better quality UGC from the start from these new creators, as they're motivated and they're incentivized to perform. Now, the way I recommend that you do so in order to get the cheapest rates for UGC and build a solid relationship with these creators is offer them a retainer once you find the best creators. So as an example, get one creator on retainer for $1,000 per month. They pump out, from their 15 pieces of UGC for you. So if you do the math, that's a little less than $100 per UGC piece. So you're saving on your UGC costs. But for them, they're getting incredible security by doing so. They're also building a portfolio, and they have a recurring source of income that comes from this partnership with you. And by doing that, you can also coach them. So you can also train them and build up their experience by doing so. Obviously, you want to work with creators that, as said at the beginning, that already resonated well with your brand. So you have the least amount of training to do as possible, but it still gives you an edge. I'm all in for having as much of this in-house as possible. Now, from a brand's perspective, it's a reliable source of UGC. You know predictably how much UGC you're gonna get on a monthly basis. So you can also already align that with your creative editing team so that they know how many pieces they can edit and how many variations they can output. And you can actually control that based on how many creatives you need as you rank up your ad spend, because creative fatigue is real on TikTok. So you'll make sure that you plan accordingly for how many creatives that you will need. And by having this closer relationship and this ability to train the UGC creator, you have better control over the outcome, because you'll be able to kind of point them in the right direction. And once you have a couple creators, something that I recommend recommend you do is you could have like weekly creator coaching calls. So that way, like you get all of your creators within one call. You first get them to share ideas, with one another. So they kind of mastermind together. And then you can kind of all give them feedback about their content and present more about your company's vision, your culture, news, about your products. So you really get them ingrained into your culture, just like a regular employee would, so that they can perform better at making your content. And for them also to be ingrained within that culture of yours makes them feel good too, right? It makes them feel almost like an employee, but they benefit because they can do so with 10, 15 brands at a time, where they have these contracts on hand, and it gives them flexibility, which I think is what a lot of UGC creators are searching for. Once you've got that settled in, so again, the first step is creating an automated source of UGC creators applicants. The second one is getting creators on retainers or getting them on a longer term agreement. And the third one is getting an automated onboarding process for these UGC creators. So one thing I've noticed over the last couple of months is just from an employee perspective at the agency, if you can automate the onboarding process of employees the same way that you would for a client, right? So you can package your internal onboarding system just like you would with clients. Then it brings a lot of security to the business, because you can easily bring new team members in when and if needed. Same thing for you as a brand owner. If you have an automated system to onboard these UGC creators, then it becomes quite easy for you to, worst case, replace a creator if they stop performing well, or again, tap into your pool and always make sure that you have the best talent as possible. If you're listening to this, you want a similar system and you want it completely done for you, we've got that at the agency. So if you're an e-commerce brand or store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to check out the description below and book in a short demo call with our team. And for everybody else watching, we're posting daily tips and talking about these systems of ours, giving you an insider's perspective into the agency and sharing with you exclusive training every single day on our free Facebook group community that is also listed in the description down below. So make sure that you join that and check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.